Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Round 6. This is day 22 or sketch number 22. And you saw there, I had all of my sticky embellishments, my title and everything on that piece of wax paper in preparation of putting everything on the layout. Here I've cut down that one background paper and I'm going to put it on either side like the sketch had. And then the pink stripe pieces, I took a couple of those from my scrap pile and I'm going to add those on as well. And I'm just going through and trying to get everything lined up like the inspiration did, the kit had, or not the kit, the sketch had. And it had on there a piece of paper, whether it was paper or washi tape or whatever, you could use to create that border along that top edge. And then on the bottom one, it was a border along the bottom edge. And so I just thought because the smaller piece of paper was on the right, I would use the larger border with it and the smaller border with the larger piece of paper on the left. I hope that makes sense because it kind of lost me. Anyway, I'm getting things put down and I'm actually going to do a little bit of mixed media on this one once I cut that apart. Sorry about the focus of the camera there. I think I have it on autofocus, and sometimes when that happens, it really gets crazy when I turn a piece of paper over. And I'm just using a straight blade here to go around and cut that edge of paper off. And that will end up in my scrap pile. Gosh, I know that's annoying, y'all. I'm so sorry. If I'd have realized it was doing that, I probably would have cut it out. But when I do the editing process, I kind of go through the clips pretty fast and I don't always catch stuff like that. So sorry about that. So there you see, I cut it down. The papers aren't perfectly even, and I'm okay with that because a lot of it will be covered up to make it where you really can't tell that much about how even the papers are. I did cut my photos down to, I can't remember if it was 2.5 by 2.5 or 3. I know it's not 3 by 3. I think it was 2.5 by 2.5 or 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And so I'm using a lot of scraps there to put behind the photos to just kind of use some of those smaller scraps, black scraps. And you can see the scraps that I have there are ones that have been punched out. And so I will layer those up there where you can't even see that something's been punched out of the paper. And I'll just keep adding scrap paper to that until I get it, I think, large enough that it feels right to me. I love that I got so many of the scraps used on this. And those scraps are actually not from the kit that I had created, but from one of the packets of leftovers that I added in. So that's always fun when you can use those additional things that you've added in. This is the point in the layout process where I am at my last full sheet of paper. As far as pattern paper, that gold color paper is, the geometric shape is the last full sheet of paper that I have. And so from this point forward, I will go through and be using the bulk of my scraps. Now I've managed to get through 22 days of this kit without having to pull anything in, with the exception of a few scraps here and there. But yeah, it's amazing how much I've gotten used up with this stash. Here I am cutting down the tissue paper that I pulled into that, and I'm just going to fold it over, leave a little bit of a border showing there at the top or the bottom, and call it good. And so once I have that done, I'll trim the edges of that tissue paper down. I think it's fun to add tissue paper in for a specialty paper on occasion. It's not something that I want to do every single time that I scrapbook, but it's fun to do it occasionally. And I use quite a bit of what I had in this kit. Now you can see I'm going to have the photos just like in the sketch up at the top, and then I will, oh yeah, I forgot. I was going to do the mixed media. And I'm going to do that good old paper smooshing technique. So I'm putting some of that spray, uh, Tattered Angels spray mist on there, and it is glittered. So I'm just going through and smashing it in good to the plastic paper, and then I'm going to put it around at the top and towards the bottom where I know my embellishment cluster is going to go and where my photo is going to go. And there I'm showing you it's the Tattered Angels Shimmer Mist in what was rum something, rum punch or whatever it was. This is kind of fun to do. I don't often do it because I'm not one of those people who likes to get messy with scrapbooking. Um, yeah, I was never one of those kids who played outside in the mud. That wasn't me. Um, so even that carries on to now, I don't like to get my hands super dirty, especially when I'm creating layouts. Now, sometimes when I'm making cards and I'm doing lots of stamping, I get dirty and I don't mind. And you can see that said family dinner. Yep, gonna use the family portion of it and just tuck that dinner portion right under there, and unless you know what's on there, you'll never see it. And then down at the bottom it says Sunday Fun Day. Now the kids were in the swimming pool. It was actually a travel day for us. We had gone on a summer vacation and we were actually, I don't know if we were traveling to our destination or traveling home from. But either way, we had stopped at a hotel where there was a swimming pool, and the girls, two of my granddaughters, Shawnee and Zoe, and I were in the swimming pool playing around. So definitely not having dinner at that point, but we were a family together. So you can see some of the little triangle pieces there that are on that wax paper are actually ones that were part of the sticker pack that I had cut in half. They were banners meant to be folded over. I cut them apart and made some triangle pieces, and then I also took some of the scrap paper and cut triangles out of that. And I also I had that chevrony paper, the chevrony arrow paper, and I cut a bunch of pieces out of that as well. And then I'm going to use some wood veneer and the triangle enamel dots that I have. And you can see those laying there over to the left. I'm going to use all of that on the layout. That's one of the nice things when I make a page kit like this and I use a piece of wax paper to put all of the embellishments, etc. on there. It makes the layout go together so fast. I did on the bottom, when it came time to put that title down there, I did cut a lot of that out because I was putting adhesive, wet adhesive on the back, and where I peeled it from the foam, or I'm sorry, from the wax paper, I put it on the edge of my ruler before I put it down, and sometimes that can take a little bit. And so rather than bother you guys with seeing that whole process, I skipped a lot of it. And I think we all know what it's like to watch people glue things down. Sometimes it's not too bad. Sometimes it can be a little irritating. So I am just going to trim those edges down, the ones that are hanging over. And this layout is pretty close to done. Yeah, I'm going to put some wood veneer arrows down. I haven't used any wood veneer on this page, so I'm going to add 3 on the left side and 3 on the right side. So like I said, this is day number 22. I still have a few more to go, 8 more to go before this collection is done, this October 2019 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. I hope that the kit itself will last me through the 30 days. I do have my 6x6 paper pads and I do have a lot of scraps to play with, so you'll have to check back every day to see how far along I get. Um, yeah, it has been super fun playing with this kit exclusively to create these pages for Christy's Beautiful Life. And if you're interested, you can go over to her YouTube channel, and there's a link to her Facebook page. And there's tons and tons and tons of inspiration over there, guys. If you're interested in seeing everybody's different takes on the different sketches that she posted, oh my goodness, it is crazy inspirational over there. So I'm getting pretty close to getting everything completely done once I get these arrows glued down. I will remind you, I do have close-ups there at the end, so stay tuned for those. You can get a little bit closer shot. The photos were taken fairly early in the morning, and they don't have the best, I didn't have the best lighting in my scrapbook room at that point. Until a little bit later in the day, but I wanted to get the photos done. So they have a more yellowish tint to them. Yeah, so sorry about that. So you get a more true to color here in the video, but in the close-up photos, you get a more of a yellowish tint. So finally, I've got the wood veneer girl down there. And I'm just going to add her on. No reason why. We're all girls in the photo. I guess I could have found a couple small little girls to go along with, but yeah, I figured one represented all. Anyway, I hope this layout inspires you to get into your stash and play with something that you've had for a while and that you really want to get out of your stash and into your scrapbook albums, or whatever it is that you do, whether it be card making or scrapbooking or just crafting in general. Anyway, guys, this is it, and I will see you guys on the next layout. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.